Yes, Mr.
The court, please, my lord. We continue with the evidence of Colonel Swaniku.
You are reminded that you're still under oath,
Colonel, yesterday before the adjournment, we were dealing with exhibit N in bracket 1. That is the occurrence book from Silverton Police Station for the period 3 July 20 to 10 July 2020. Can you once again start at entry number 64 and put those entries on record?
Thank you, my lord. The entry 64 is made on the 3rd of July 2020 at 00:51. Entry read as follows: suspect detained by Detective Sergeant Mugane of National Cold Case Investigation Unit, Pretoria. With the following: Musi September Sabana, SAPS 14-05/07/2020, SAP 14A R1394878, charged possession of illegal ammunition, next of kin informed, and arrested at home with no injuries and complaints, and correctly by the signature of Sergeant Mugane.
Lana ke kubhaliwe kwakungeyilanga lange-3 zika July 2020 kangolesihlanu isikhathi ke 00:51 umsola uvalelwe noma ugcinwe uDetective Sergeant Mugane we-National Cold Case Unit ePretoria. Igama ke umuzi Sithemba Sibiya, SAP 14-05/7/2020 kanye SAP 14A 1394878 akuboshelwe ke ukutholakala nesibhamu ngongekho noma inhlamvu ngongekho emthethweni. Isihlobo sakhe ke noma lowo ke owakubo utsheliwe, futhi ke uma eboshwa uboshwe engalimele, futhi ke kungekho nalokho akhala ngako, wasiyasayina ke lapha yena ke uSergeant.
Yes, and the next entry that's relevant for this prisoner. My lord, we've marked the pages from page 2.
And the next entry is written on Friday, the 10th of July 2020. The OB number is 310.
No, 309. Oh, sorry, yes, 310.
310. The time was 10 o'clock. Escort to court, Sergeant Mugane. Escorted cell 05/07/2020, Musi September Sibiya, for illegal possession of ammunition. To Tembisa, on Tembisa Cas 01/06/2020, correctly received, and it was signed by Sergeant Mugane.
Lana ke elandelayo ke kwakungazo i-10 zika July 2020 bhaliwe ke isikhathi u-10 ekseni ehanjiswa ke noma ephelekezelwa eya enkantolo uyena uDetective Sergeant Mugane kubhalwa ke no 05/07/2020 umuzi Sithemba Sibiya ngokutholakala ke nezinhlamvu ezingekho emthethweni kwicala lasethembisa le case 01/06/2020 nokuthi wamukelwa kahle ke wase esayina yena ke uDetective Mugane.
So in short, according to the occurrence book, this detainee was at Silverton Police Station from the period 3 July 2020 to 10 July 2020.
That's correct.
Kafushane ke isiboshwa lesike sasikhona ke eSilverton noma sasigcina eSilverton ukusuka ngazo i3 zika July 2020 kwaze kwayofika noma bayoshaya i-10 zikaJuly 2020.
We'll get back to Exhibit N and 1 in a while. If I can ask you to turn to Exhibit NN in brackets 2, the cell register. Is there any corresponding entry in the cell register pertaining to this detainee?
That's correct, my lord. On cell entry 5 of July 2020, person with the name of Musi Temba Zabana was booked in. He was detained at Silverton Police Station on 2020-0703 at 0051.
Ngalo-ke noma kwinyanga kaJuly ngo-2020 lana-ke uma ubheka-ke okwesihlanu ukusuka phezulu obhaliwe-ke lana uVusi Sithemba Sibana-ke ngokwale ndlela ebhalwe ngayo lana-ke futhi-ke ngalo ilanga lange-3 zikaJuly 2020 isikhathi ku-0051.
The charge he was detained on was possession of illegal ammunition, Tembisa Cas 01/06/2020.
Icala-ke kwakuyilelo lokutholakala ngey'nhlamvu ngokungekho emthethweni, icala laseThembisa ilu-01/06/2020.
According to the cell register in column 14, he was released on 2020/07/10 at 10 o'clock to the magistrate court.
Bese uma ubheka-ke kuyena-ke ucolumn 14 ngazo i-10 zikaJuly 2020 ngo-10 isikhathi ila akhishwa khona-ke eya enkantolo.
Thank you. And if you can just maybe just clarify the time of detention. You mentioned 2251.
No, it is 0051. The time of detention. It's in column 8.
Right, there's another time in column 5.2. What does that represent?
That represents the time of the arrest that is given by the arresting officer.
Isikhathi lana esibhaliwe-ke uTheni-ke wasebusuku lokho kuchaza-ke isikhathi aboshwa ngaso, isikhathi leso-ke esasinikwa iphoyisa leli ekuyilona elambopha.
Thank you. If we can then just get back to Exhibit NN in brackets 1. Now, yesterday you've outlined the procedure that must be followed when there's a complaint of an injury by a detainee, and you've referred to the relevant national instructions. I just want to refer you to page 3 of Exhibit NN1. Entry number 97 at 23:20. Or maybe if you can start right at the top, entry number 94. And this is just by way of an example. What was the position regarding that entry?
The entry was made, it was a report that was made on the 3rd of July 2020 at 21:37. The entry read as follows: report, Constable Sabaka report that one male suspect in the cells by the name of Joseph Nyanga, SAPS 142/7/2020, charged possession of stolen property. During cell inspection, I noticed that he's vomiting. I immediately contact emergency services on 112.
As he's complaining of neck pain, is that all right?
Yeah,
Is
he's
that correct?
complaining of neck pain and
And the
the
emergency,
emergency reference number is 101713, consultant name Tandiwe.
lana ke lo mbiko ke noma lo mbhalo olana ke usetshenziswa ke nanjengesibonelo ukuthi uma kunombiko ke noma umuntu ke enesikhalo sokuthi ke unayo inkinga nayo lana kubhaliwe ke ngazo i3 zika July 2020 ku 21:37 isikhathi umbiko uthi uConstable Sibaka wachaza noma washo ke ukuthi isiboshwa esizodwa somuntu wesilisa kuma cell igama laso ku Joseph Nyanga SAP 140207 2020 akuboshelwe ke ukutholakala enempahla ke eyintshontshiwe ushilo ke nkathi esemaselini ukuthi ke yena loyo ke uJoseph lowo ke waye ekhipha ngaphezulu noma waye vomita ke ngase ngaleso sikhathi ke sengibiza ke abosizo noma ke ama emergency service ke na ke u112 nanjengoba wayesho ukuthi ke uneyinhlungu noma unama pain anawo la kuyena ke emqaleni noma entanyeni futhi ke ireference number e101713 naloyo muntu ekwakhulunywa naye kwakuuthandiwe kuyaboniswa nanje ngesibonelo ukuthi kwenziwani uma ngabe umuntu enaloko akhala ngako.
yes, you can then read the entry at 23:20.
Entry 97, it was the same evening at 23:20 report. Constable Sabaka reported that a male
I made a follow-up.
I made a follow-up on the ambulance requested from emergency services at reference number 101713, and Mrs. Sophie assured me telephonically that they received my call and that the ambulance is still on the way to the police station as requested.
Lana ke uyachaza noma uyaqhubeka ke usibaka ekulona ke befonile ukuthi kwase elandelela ke futhi ucingo wabo lo awelenzile ke mayelana neambulance ukuthi le awayecelile base bemchazela ke ne reference number e10713 wase ke uMiss Sophie emnikeza ke isiqiniseko sokuthi ekusho lokho ngocingo ke ukuthi ke ucingo lwakhe balutholile nokuthi futhi ke iambulance isendleleni eyakhona epolice station nanjengoba ayicelile.
As you mentioned, this is by way of example. What does this illustrate?
This illustrates that according to the national instruction, if somebody in custody, a person in custody needs medical treatment, the relief commander or the person in the cells must immediately act and contact the necessary emergency services to ensure that the person receives treatment.
Lokhu okuchazayo nanjoma kushiwo ukuthi kusetshenziswa nanjengesibonelo ukuthi ke loyo ophethe emasel noma ke icommander uma kuukuthi ukhona ke umuntu kulabo bavaleke onesikhalo noma oshoyo ukuthi ke kukhona ke la angaphethekanga kahle khona ke ukuthi yikona lokhu okufanele kwenziwe ukuthi enze isiqiniseko sokuthi ke uyalithola usizo loyo muntu loyo.
Now, Colonel Swanepoel, you've been a station commander for some 32 years, and you've also been a member of the police for about 41 years. Do you consider yourself sufficiently experienced on matters pertaining to occurrence books and cell registers?
Yes, my lord, I do. I make it my job to ensure that all the national instructions that is issued is communicated to all the members at the station as well, and to ensure that they also know the national instructions and instructions pertaining to detention management.
Nanje ngomuntu ke ose station commander iminyaka u32 usemaphoyiseni ke iminyaka u41 ungathi ke uyithatha nanje ngomuntu noma ubona nanje ngomuntu owaziyo ukuthi ke indaba yama occurrence book incwadi lezi isebenza kanjani. Yebo, okwami futhi ke uqiniseka ukuthi ke uma khona ke okuphuma phezulu ke kwabasiphethe ke ama instructions ukuthi ke lawo ama instructions lawo atholwa noma aziwa uyena wonke umuntu osebenzayo khona lapho futhi ke nokuthi ke bayawalandelela ke mayelana nabantu ababoshiwe.
Now, you've just placed an entry and record as per Exhibit NN1 on Friday, the 3rd of July 2020, that this prisoner who was booked in by Sergeant Mohani was received with no injuries.
That's correct.
Yebo ngishilo kuloko ngiqeda ukufunda ukuthi ngazo 8 zika July 2020 isiboshwa ke leso esasilethwe uyena uSergeant Mohane salethwa ke singalimele.
And also when he was booked out on the 10th of July 2020.
That's correct.
Nokuthi kanjalo futhi ke nangenkathi ekhishwa ke ngazo 10 zika July 2020.
Now, we've seen that this is a common entry in all the occurrence books that have been handed up, Exhibit MM, which is an occurrence book from, just trying to get my list, from Pretoria North Police Station. We've also seen that entry in Exhibit Exhibit NN and Exhibit NN. It's an extract of the occurrence book from Silverton Police Station, NN1 that you've just placed on record. There's also Exhibit NN, it's an extract of occurrence book, entry for accused number 1 from the following police stations: Diepkloof Police Station, which is dated, the entry is dated 30 May 2020. Also, the occurrence book from Vilera Police Station, dated 31 May 2020 to 8 June. And also Exhibit PP, Exhibit PP is an occurrence book and cell register from Phukem Police Station. And we've also seen that entry in Exhibits QQ. And Exhibit QQ is an occurrence book entry from Primrose Police Station, dated 20 June 2020 to 21 June 2020. We've also seen the same entry in Exhibit SS. It's an occurrence book from Pretoria Moot Police Station, dated 22 to 24 June 2020. And we've seen the same entry in Exhibit UU in brackets 2, which is an extract of entry from Fusileres Court Cell Register. Now, in your view, Colonel Swanepoel, what is the integrity of these entries in the occurrence book? What is the reliability of such entries? What is the truthfulness of such entries?
The entries is made by the members in the cells or the CSC. So every person that make that entry got a legal obligation to make the entry to the correct knowledge that he experienced at that specific time.
Konke okubhaliwe lana kubhalwa amalunga ake ngaleso sikhathi leso lapho emaselini ukuthi ke nelunga ngalinye ke uma umuntu ebhala kuyinto ke emphoqayo ke lokho ngomthetho ke futhi ukuthi ubhala ke lokho kwaziyo anolwazi labo ngaleso sikhathi leso.
National Instruction 13 of 2019 gives the minimum requirements of such an entry that must be made by the police members.
Futhi ke kulomthetho obizwa ukuthi ama National Instruction 13 wakhe ke u20 ukuthi ke yila ekuchazela khona ke ukuthi yini ke efanele umuntu ayazike noma ayenzeke uma ngabe ebhala kuyona ke incwadi.
So all the entries at all the police stations in the Republic of South Africa will have the same entries because it's mentioned in a national instruction how that entry must read.
Futhi ke kuzo zonke noma kuwona onke ama-police station eNingizimu Afrika kana nje nake uma ke kubhalwa laphayana kufanele ke kubhalwe ngoba ke lawa ama-instructions lawo ayachaza ke ukuthi kufanele kubhalwe noma kubhalwe kanjani. Uzothola ke ukuthi kuzona zonke ke lezo ncwadi lezo kuzobhalwa ke into eyodwa noma into ke efanayo.
And what is the status of occurrence books and cell registers? How are they classified?
The SAPS 10, the occurrence book, SAPS 14, the cell register is official documents and must be kept according to the regulations on official documents.
Le ncwadi ezahlukeleke kuyona ke i-SAP noma ke occurrence book SAP 14 kanye futhi ne-register ke ilena ke SAP 10 kufanele ke igcinwe ke ngokwendlela ke umthetho ochaza noma osho ngayo ukuthi kufanele igcinwe ngayo.
Now, is it possible that a police officer can cover up an injury of a detainee?
My Lord, I think it is possible that a cover-up can happen, but the police members can't, in a long period, they can't cover it up. And I'm saying that because every 12 hours there's new members on duty. Every 12 hours the new members is looking after persons in the cells. So they visit the cells every hour and they must ensure that the prisoners is all available in the cell, and they must ensure that the cell structure is still of a proper area, that there will be no escapes, and they must ensure that there is no injuries to any of the detainees.
Kungenzeka yini ke ukuthi ke iphoyisa ke lingagodla ke noma lingafihla ke ukulimala kwesiboshwa? Yebo, lokho ke kungenzeka ke, kodwa ke angeke kwenzeke isikhathi eside ngoba nje ngaso ngawo onke amahora nje ayi12 noma ke ngama-hour awu-12 kunama member amashake noma amalunga amashake afikayo ahamba ayobheka isimo sala iboshwa igcinwe khona, ayobheka isimo sokuthi iboshwa ayilimele yini, nokuthi futhi ke angeke kwenzeke yini ukuthi mhlambe ke isiboshwa noma iziboshwa zingeqa. Lokho ke kungenzeka kodwa ngeke umuntu akwazi ukuthi angafihla isikhathi eside.
And then if there's injuries, the member will report it, because he can also be held liable if he don't report such an injury. And with departments like the Independent Police Investigation Directorate, IPID, and oversight committees that's visiting the police stations, the members don't cover up for each other.
Lana ke okwenzekayo ke futhi ukuthi ke uma ke isiboshwa ke ukuthi ke isiboshwa noma umuntu ke ulimele, lokho kufanele ilunga noma imember ke ikusho ichazeke, ngoba uma ukuthi lokho akawukhipha umbiko ngakho ke naye ke angase enkingeni ke, ngoba ke kunale lokho kubizwa ngokuthi ke i-IPD ekuyibona abaphenya amaphoyisa, kunama committee ahlala nje njalo eyovisita emajele eyobheka izimo zasemajele. Manje ke lokho kusho ukuthi ke angeke ke amaphoyisa ke abe wona ke esiyazama ukukhavelana noma afihle okwenzekayo.
In the entry that you've just placed on record, exhibit NN in brackets 1, entry with the serial number 64, you've placed on record that Sergeant Mohani signed next to that entry. What is the purpose of Sergeant Mohani signing there?
That to ensure that the entry that was made is the correct information that was received. So he confirmed that that is the correct information.
Lana ke ku entry 64 lana ke Mohani asayina khona ke, uma esayina ke uyasho ukuthi lokhu akubhalile ke lana ngempela ke kuyiqiniso futhi ke uyavumelana nako, ingakho ke egcineni asiyasayina.
And we've seen that that is the same with all the entries that I've just put on record regarding the police stations. And what is the import of such entries by the detectives?
Sorry.
Yes. You've just explained what the purpose of the signature. Will it be the same with all the other entries?
That's correct.
Nakwezinye ke indawo la kusayinwe khona ke basayinda ngalezathu lesi ke engicela ukusisho.
Now, you were at Silverton Police Station for a period of about 7 years. Were the police officers at Silverton known to you?
Yes, my lord. I know them.
Wawuse Silverton ke isikhathi esingangiminyaka ewu7 ngaba ke amaphoyisa ase Silverton amaphoyisa owazi yini? Yebo ngangikwazi.
Now, during cross-examination by Mr. Mgumezulu, he put it to the investigating team that a police officer by the name of Nkamani at Silverton Police Station assaulted accused number 1. Did you have a member by that name at Silverton Police Station?
In 2020, there was no such member, and in the whole period that I was there from 2016 till 2023, there was no such member with that surname at Silverton Police Station.
Mr. Mgomezulu ke kwithimba ke eliphenyayo ushilo lana ukuthi ke umsolo wokuqala ke washawe iphoyisa elinqamane ngabe wonalo yini lelo phoyisa lelo ngaleso sikhathi lapho ngaso sonke isikhathi ngilapha yana ke nokusuka ke ngo2016 kweshaya ke u2023 akekho umuntu wayenaleso sibongo lapha yana.
Sorry. Yes, Mr. Mgomezulu.
My lord, I just want to correct my colleague.
Correct your colleague.
Yes.
Okay.
Mr. Baloyi. The name Ngamane was amongst the names of people that assaulted accused number 1. He is not, or he was not, a police officer stationed at Silverton. I've never put it as a member that.
So Ngamani is not a police officer?
No. Stationed at Silverton during the assault.
Where was he stationed then? Because this is how Mr. Baloyi says the question was posed. At Silverton. So if he wasn't stationed there, fine, no problem. Because this witness says there was no person with the name of Ngamani at Silverton, where your client was allegedly assaulted.
My instruction is that Ngamane was from intelligence.
Was that?
Intelligence office. He was working with Mabena.
All right.
The late Mabena.
Umswake lokho ukuthi ke cha uMamane wayengasebenzi ke eSilverton kodwa wayesebenza naye uMabena esebenzela ke uphiko lolu intelligence.
Sorry, Mr. Baloyi, was the assertion that the gentleman, Mr.
Ngamani.
No, accused number one, as you say, was assaulted at Silverton?
Well, my lord, that was the import of the proposition that was put to, I think it was Sergeant Mohola.
Yeah.
And that was after reference was made to the entry at the Tembisa court appearance on the 10th of July. And accused number 1 then, via his legal representative, put it on record that he was being assaulted by police officers at Silverton.
Okay, fine.
And the name then came up in that context.
Okay, fine.
Now, my lord, I beg to...
Then fine, you are saying Ngamani works, according to your client, for intelligence?
Yes.
Okay.
And my lord, may I just correct the assertion that was put by accused number 1 in terms of the version put on Sergeant Mohola. He said the police officers or the members at Silverton did not assault him. They, when he informed the court in Tembisa, never made reference to the police officers of Silverton. He said the police were assaulting him. That's why he requested to be detained in prison.
Oh, these are just members of the police force?
Yes.
They
That's
randomly assaulted him?
Yes.
Okay, fine.
Because on the record in the charge sheet it appears SADP.
Okay, fine.
Okunye futhi ke uyakulungisa ke futhi ke ummeli wena ke uma ukhuluma enkantolo yaseThembisa ushonga ukuthi washaywa amaphoyisa ase Silverton. Wawushaywa nje amaphoyisa ukuthi ase Silverton.
Thank you. My Lord, my instruction is to confirm same that the police officers of Silverton did not assault accused number 1.
Yeah, fine.
That's what I want to do.
Indake lokho qedwe usho manje ukuthi wena-ke bagcizelelake ukuthi awuzange noma ukaze ushaywe amaphoyisa aseSilverton.
As a court, please, my lord, it might perhaps be necessary to revisit Exhibit 00. This is the charge sheet of the proceedings in Tembisa Court.
Exhibit 00.
Yes, Exhibit 00 on the 10th of July 2020. The following is noted: the accused being assaulted by SAPD Silverton.
Ufunda-ke umshushisi okwenzeka-ke eThembisa enkantolo yaseThembisa
The 10th of July 2020.
okwenzeka-ke enkantolo yaseThembisa ngazo i-10 zikaJulayi 2020 ukuthi kubhaliwe phansi ukuthi umsolwa noma ummangalelwa uyasho ukuthi ushaywa noma washaywa amaphoyisa aseSilverton. Uthi into ebhalwe phansi-ke leyo kwirekhodi lasenkantolo eThembisa.
And that is when the request was
Yeah,
made
right.
that he be transferred to Moda B.
Okay, fine.
As a court pleases.
Sorry, is that the typed record?
This is the
Inscription there is what?
this is
By
just
hand?
a handwritten copy of the charge sheet.
Okay, fine, no problem. Thanks.
As a court, please, my lord, these are all the aspects. Perhaps just one aspect. You have mentioned the role played by the IPID. Now, as far as injuries are concerned of a detainee, what role do they play?
As soon as a detainee is injured and he alleges that he is assaulted, he's got a right to open a criminal docket, and that criminal docket will be then be transferred to IPID. They must be informed within 24 hours, within 12 hours, to ensure that they take over the investigation of that specific case.
Uma kuwukuthi-ke umsolwa ushayiweke noma ulimeleke kufanele ukuthi yena-ke bewuyena-ke manje osemangala-ke okuzokwenzeka-ke ukuthi-ke kuzophenywa-ke i-IPD-ke noma kuvulwe idokodo kwisikhathi samahora ayishumi-2-ke kufanele i-IPD ichazeleke ekuyibona-ke manje esebezothatha-ke ukuya phambili ukuphenya lelo cala lelo.
Thank you, my lord. These are all
Yes.
the aspects we wanted to take up.
Okay,
with the
thank you,
witness.
Mr. Gomez. Amazon.
Thank you.
Morning, Mr. Sonny.
Good morning.
So it's your evidence that you were a latent colonel in 1992. Is that correct?
No, a lieutenant.
Lieutenant colonel,
No, just
What?
lieutenant. The
Lieutenant.
rank was lieutenant in that time.
1992.
Yeah, that rank in the meantime, that rank fell away.
Ngo-1992-ke isikhundla enganamake irank enganginayo kwakuwu-lieutenant ekwase ukuthi ngokuhamba kwesikhathi-ke ayabisaqhubekanga.
So you were promoted in 2016 as a colonel.
That's correct.
Kwase ukuthi ngo-2016 ngase ngikhushulwa-ke ngesikhundla ngaba u-colonel.
So in terms of the procedures that you are putting on record before this honorable court, you were guided by the national instruction and the standing orders.
That's correct, my lord.
Futhi ke ngaloko ngichazile lapha ke ngemithetho ke ekhona ke mina ke ngiholwa ke noma siholwa ke ilama instruction engithi akhona ke at national.
All right. In terms of, you gave evidence in relation to the how the OB is, how the events are recorded in the OB and the SAP 14 capital letter A, the rights of the suspect. So, firstly, before I get into does the national instruction also prescribes the formalities or the procedure to be followed by members when they are taking a confession?
Yes, there's also a national instruction pertaining to a confession, but it's mostly covered in the Criminal Procedure Act.
Yebo khona ke nesitshela ke noma ke umthetho khona ke mala nalapho thathwa khona ke judgment la umuntu ke akhona khona ke noma kwenziwa ama confession kodwa lokho ke kule sigaba ke esithi ke i-Criminal Procedure Act lezi eziphathelene nezomthetho.
Yes, I understand there is a provision regarding or governing the requirements for taking a confession in terms of Section 217 of the Criminal Procedure Act, but precisely on the national policy or instructions that guides members when they are taking a confession. Do we have such a prescribed format or procedure?
My lord, unfortunately I can't answer that. I'm not 100% sure of that specific national instruction, but as I said in the beginning, there is instructions for every part of our job in the South African Police.
Umsebenzi ke noma kwisigaba ngasinye ke umsebenzi wethu esiwenzayo samaphoyisa ke khona ke ama instructions akhona kodwa kulona umbuzo engibuza wona ke angeke ngiphenduleke ngokuqondile ngithi yebo kukhona.
But you can give an opinion as an officer who has an experience of 41 years in relation to the procedure of taking a confession.
My lord, again, in the 41 years, I've never been in a position to take down a confession. So I must say to the court that I can't answer that specifically because I didn't do any confession in my 41 years.
Kule minyaka ke e41 angeke ngibe nako ukuthi ngiphenduleke kuleyo ingxenye ngoba ke kuminyaka ke e41 ngisemaphoyiseni ke angikaze ke ngisithathe ke statement lokho noma lokho okubizwa ngokuthi ke i-confession.
So the question that as a person who's competent or by law that you can, if asked to take a confession, do you know what
Mr. Mgomez will refer to the witness. We all know that if he's a commissioned officer,
Yes.
he's got to be a justice of the peace.
correct?
Yeah, that's the law, please. Let's not quote.
No, I'm not getting there.
No, I'm just
This-
saying, he says in his 41 years,
Yes.
he's never taken a confession. By extension of logic, only commissioned officers who are justices of the peace in the police force take confessions.
That's correct, madam.
You were
It is
quoting the
true.
law the other day, Justice of the Peace Act, blah, 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 blah,
Yes.
blah. That's it.
As a commissioned officer, if you can be assisted to take a confession, what is the first step that you can do?
I will firstly look at the Criminal Procedure Act to ensure that I do it in the correct way, as well as national instructions that's available on the intranet of the South African Police Service. And I will make sure that before I take the confession, I adhere to all the regulations and the instructions in that specific documentation.
Uma-ke mina ngingacelwa-ke ukuthi angilekelele noma ngisizeke ekuthini-ke ngithathe phansi isitatimende bese-ke sibizwe ngokuthi iyona i-confession. Ngaqala futhi ngiyobheka-ke ukuthi umthetho uthini nama-instructions la esiwanikwayo-ke nanjengamaphoyisa ukwenza-ke isiqiniseko sokuthi konke engikwenzayo ngenza lokho ekufanele ukuthi ngiyakwenza futhi ngikwenza futhi ngokwendlela umthetho ongilindele ukuthi ngikwenze ngayo.
My Lord, I beg leave to ask the witness to take the witness to exhibit SS.
Exhibit SS.
That's correct.
Okay.
Starting from reference number or entry number 1661. Entry number 1661. Entry number 1661. The date is the 22nd of June 2020. Do you see that?
I see, my lord.
Can you place that entry on record, sir?
And the entry was made on the 22nd of June 2020, on a Monday. The reference number, serial number is 1661. The time is 1500 hours. And the entry read as follows: prisoner received Sergeant Bukhani from National Cold Case Unit of Pretoria, handed one male, Bongani Sandisu Ndanzi. It looks like police station's name, CAS 118 of 6/2020, possession of unlicensed ammunition.
Lana-ke okubhaliwe kwakungazo i-22 zika June 2020 kwangomsombuluko. Entry lena-ke u-1661 isikhathi u-3. Okubhaliwe-ke lana ukuthi-ke isiboshwa-ke esatholakala uyena noma silethwa uyena-ke uSergeant Bukhani we-National Cold Case Unit ePretoria. Umlisa oyedwa uBongani Sandiso Ntanzi. I-case 11806/2020 boshelwe-ke ukutholakala nenhlamvu ngokungemthetho.
Then it follows on the next page with the SABC 40 number 108/06/2020, SAP 14A S0947284, Bongani Ntanzi, without any visible injuries, he confirmed.
Kwasekuthi-ke kwelandelayo-ke 1162 kuyaqhutshekwa-ke SAP 14 10806/2020, SAP 14A S0947284, uBongani Ntanzi engalimeleki noma-ke akukho-ke okubonakalayo noma-ke ukulimala okubonakalayo kwase kuyaqinisekiswa-ke.
Then it ended by handed correctly and the signature of Sergeant Bukhani.
Kwase kugcinwa-ke ngokuthi-ke wandluliswa kahle-ke wase esayinda-ke yena-ke uSergeant or Detective Sergeant Bukhani.
If you go down or you want to go on all the entries that relates to Bongani Ntanzi on the 22nd. So,
There's one, my lord, it is OB 1667, 1600 hours cell visit by Warrant Officer Mutkari and Sergeant Sawole as follows. Cell 13, we've got 2 males. Cell 5, 1 male, cell 8, 1 female, cell 2, 2 males. All cell doors locked, all in order, no complaints or injuries.
Okulandelayo ke lana isikhathi ke kwaku4 kuyobhekwa ke ama cell bhalwe cell visits ona ke ama cell avela uyena warrant officer Mukhare kanye naye uconstable Sihole ku cell 13 babhala ukuthi abalisa ababili ku cell 8 owesimame oyedwa futhi ke ukuthi zonke icapha noma yonke ke iminyango yamasele ikhiyiwe kanye futhi ke konke kukahle akukho izikhalo ezikhona noma ukulimala.
On that OB, from where you started reading on entry 116 up to the next date that appears on that OB, will I be correct that is the 24th of June?
My Lord, in between the 22nd and the 24th, there was cell visits done, as well as station visits by Lieutenant Colonel Supin, where the cells was also visited.
Phakathi kwawo ke i22 ne24 khona ke kwenzekile ukuthi kuyovisitwa ke kuma cell kanye ke nase station uKolonel Supin omunye wabantu ke abazile.
If the in general practice, if an attorney goes to consult with the client in the police station, is it prescribed that it must be recorded on the occurrence book that the attorney came to visit or to consult with a particular suspect?
No, my Lord, it is not mentioned in the occurrence book. There's a separate register that's kept at the police station for visits to detainees. A non-official register.
Uma kuukuthi ke ummeli uyeze police station uzoxoxa ke noma ke uzoconsulta ke neclient yakhe ke akubhalwa ke lokho lana kule ncwadi ebizwa ngokuthi ke occurrence book. Khona ke nje enye incwadi ke la ekubhalwa khona ke ama visits.
Alright. On the SAP 14, is there any column where you record the visitation by a legal practitioner?
No, my Lord.
Naku SAP 14 ayikho indawo la khona ekubhalwa khona uma ummeli ezoxoxa noma ezokhulumisana naloyo ammele.
So, are you not in possession? Oh, sorry. You were not. Can that document be made available? The one where you register the you said the non-officials, if I'm not mistaken, where an attorney visits with the purpose of consulting a client.
It is kept in a record storeroom, so I think it can be made available.
Incwadi leyo ke igcinwa ke kwi-store room sama record ngicabanga ukuthi ke ingalethwa.
So when it comes to the transportation of a suspect by a member, and a member, the vehicle that a member is using during the transportation of the suspect has a breakdown, mechanical breakdown. What is the procedure usually if a member encounters such a problem?
If a member encounters a problem of a breakdown, the first step that must be taken is to secure the suspect or the detainee to ensure that the detainee don't escape or don't get injured. And then the member must take any necessary step to get alternative transport to continue with the transportation of the detainee.
Uma kuukuthi ke kuhanjiswa isiboshwa lana ke noma ke lawo ogciniwe bese kuthi ke iphoyisa lelo lithola inkinga ngemoto leyo elihamba ngayo. Okokuqala ke kufanele kwenziwe ke ukwenza isiqiniseko sokuthi ke isiboshwa leso ke asilimele noma ke futhi ke kugwema-ke ukuthi-ke sekho noma-ke sibaleke-ke isiboshwa leso. Okwesibili-ke bese ukuthi loyo noma iphoyisa lelo lihambisa isiboshwa lenze-ke isiqiniseko sokuthi-ke manje usethola enye noma wenza ezinye iy'ndlela zokuthi-ke aqhubeke nohambo lakhe noma ukuthi athole enye imoto yokuthi aqhubeke ngohambo.
In such a situation, can a member experiencing such a problem, can a member or any other people who begged or who attended to the same area, can they use the services of another mechanic other than the mechanic of the government?
According to the South African Police Service, we must use mechanics that's linked to the South African Police Service to repair vehicles. Or the vehicle must be outsourced in terms of the procurement procedure.
Ngokwendlela-ke esebenza ngayo-ke uma kuwukuthi umuntu uthola-ke umuntu olungisa-ke imoto noma-ke umakhenikhi kufanele-ke asebenzise labo abasetshenziswa-ke esiphoyiseni noma-ke ngokwey'ndlela-ke zangaphakathi-ke emaphoyiseni-ke kutholakale-ke ukuthi imoto leyo ibhekwe noma ithole umakhenikhi.
If the need arises for emergency repairs and it's not a huge repair and the member can make use of a free service that can assist in repair. I can take an example, my lord, if a battery is down and somebody must jump start the vehicle or there's something small fault with the vehicle, then somebody can assist.
Kodwa uma kuwukuthi-ke noma kunezimo-ke ukuthi uma kuwukuthi mhlawumbe-ke khona nje okuncane-ke la umuntu angathola usizo khona-ke mhlawumbe inkinga yebhetri-ke ifuna ukuthi-ke ijump-startwe-ke noma nje inkinga nje encane-ke lapho umuntu angathola usizo.
But in the case where a motor vehicle is overheating or there's something from the engine, it's not a minor problem, that one. It must be attended by the mechanic of the government.
Yes, if a vehicle is towed to a government garage, it must be dealt with the procurement process from that process onto the government garage.
Uma kuyukuthi-ke imoto kufanele manje ukuthi-ke isuswe-ke noma idonswe la ikhona-ke ihanjiswa-ke isiwa-ke kwi-garage ekuyekahulumeni.
Tell me, what is the maximum time for keeping a suspect in the police cells when he is arrested?
If a person is arrested, he must appear before a magistrate court within 48 hours.
Uma umuntu eboshiwe kufanele-ke ayobingelela-ke imantshi kwisikhathi-ke samahora awu-48.
Or he must be released out of custody by SABC 328, that is when he's not linked to the charge.
Noma-ke abeseyakhishwa-ke emaseleni-ke ngayo SABC 328 uma kuwukuthi-ke akukho kumhlanganisa-ke nalo icala.
And depending on the crime being committed, he can be released by the SABC on bail or either on warning.
Nokuthi-ke amaphoyisa-ke ayakwazi-ke nawo ukuthi-ke mhlawumbe angamkhipha-ke ngayo ibheyile-ke noma ngaso lesixwayiso.
If a person is arrested on a docket of murder from Nongoma, KwaZulu-Natal, and is detained in Pretoria Mort under case number 163, 10 of 2018. That person, in terms of the national instructions, must he be taken to the place where that docket comes from? Like Kwanongoma.
If the rule is he must appear at a magistrate court before 48 hours.
Yes.
If the time allows the person to be taken to that police station within that 48-hour period, it can be done, but he must appear in a in the magistrate court before 48 hours expired. So if the person is arrested at Pretoria Moord and the case is in a different province and there's no time to take him immediately to that province, or they come and collect him, then he must first appear at Pretoria Magistrate Court. They will postpone the case to that magistrate court in a different province, and then that person must appear on the date the case has been postponed to.
Okwenzekayo ke la ukuthi ke kufanele umuntu ke abe eseyayibingelela ke imantshi kuleso sikhathi ke leso samahora awu-48 uma ke isikhathi sisavuma noma ke usengahanjiswa ke asiwe ke uma kuwukuthi esinye ke isifunda leso kodwa ke uma kuwukuthi akwenzeki ke lokho noma ake abayizile ke bazomlanda uboshelwe la ula ePretoria Moord uzobingelela imantshi khona kuleyo nkantolo leyo bese icala liyahlehliswa ke lihlehliselwa kuleso sifunda leso kufanele ukuthi ayovela kusona ke kuzothi ngalelo langa lelo ke icala lihlehliselwe lona abe eseyovela khona ke kwanongoma lapho.
Thank you. In a situation where the suspect has been taken, has been booked in Pretoria Moord under the same case number, under the same charge, is now taken to Force Lawrence. Is it the correct process? Is now taken to Force Lawrence court instead of Nongoma court. Is it the correct procedure?
As a good person, but I think it's not fair to ask that question not in the right context. I think there was also another case docket, the Force Lawrence case docket. For this witness to express an opinion, I think a complete picture needs to be painted. The Force Lawrence docket must also be included.
So they didn't enroll it.
It was not enrolled. There were actually two dockets. So up to now, my lord, the 534 has never been placed on record, and it has never been brought to this honorable court.
No, fine.
Yes.
But the colonel here knows the law. Like I remarked that when that prosecutor in Tembisa, wherever, refused to enroll that matter, saying he doesn't have jurisdiction.
Yes.
He didn't know the law. He just explained to you. Within 48 hours, he was arrested on a case which originates from Nongoma. And then when it's about to expire that 48 hours, because we've got the docket and we've issued, we call it a J50. We take the person to the nearest court, he says Pretoria is right, or Joburg, or whatever, for purposes of transferring the person to the proper jurisdiction. It's done every day. Drug dealers, Cape Town, they sell drugs or whatever, they are accused. And then they come from Joburg, they are arrested in Joburg, they transfer them. It happens every day. And the colonel knows the law.
Yes. Colonel Sonepol, apparently the matter referred to was not placed on the roll. And there was another allegation that accused number 2 was arrested or was charged with docket 534 for possession of drugs in Force Lawrence. And both matters were not placed on the roll. By law, that person was supposed to be released. Is that correct?
I'm not sure of the details of the case, my lord, so I don't know if I must answer this, otherwise I will...
No, you're not involved in that matter.
So
Be fair to the witness, Mr. Mgomezi. Be fair to the witness. Give him the whole sheput of the contents of the docket. Now you're selecting snippets.
My lord,
No,
I've indicated that
the court must... I read that thing, that case, Yagaramavela. They say I mustn't allow this type of cross-examination.
But now, in the event, I just want to know if the matter is not placed on the roll. Let's just put it in the general terms. The matter is not placed on the roll after 48 hours. The suspect is supposed to be released. Is that so?
The court deal with it. We hand the suspect at the court, and the prosecutor of that specific court deal with the detainee.
Yes.
Icala thina sizodlulisela ke enkantolo umshushisi-ke kuleyo nkantolo leyo-ke osezobona-ke manje-ke ukuthi-ke yini-ke ezokwenzeka noma ezokwenziwa-ke kanye nenkantolo.
Can you keep the suspect after the matter was not placed on the roll? Can you still keep the person in detention pending further investigations on dockets that were not, the accused was not arrested for?
It is not, if he appears in court, the court will decide what happened with that detainee, and the police can only rearrest the person on another case or other evidence if the court releases that person.
Inkantolo ezothatha isinqumo uyabuza-ke uma kuwukuthi-ke icala lelo lingekho lingabekiwe-ke noma lingekho-ke kuhla lamacala enkantolo niyamgcina-ke loyo muntu. Isinqumo sithathwa inkantolo bese ukuthi amaphoyisa angambopha-ke ngelinye icala noma ngamanye amacala noma-ke ngobunye ubufakazi uma kuwukuthi inkantolo imdedele.
Sorry, in terms of the national instructions, is there any specific definition of torture in terms of?
Yes, there is a national instruction on torture. Unfortunately, I don't have it here, but there's a specific definition on torture. If you give me a moment, I can give you the national instruction that deals with torture in the South African police, for persons in custody of the South African Police Service. Sorry, my lord, I can't find it right now, but it's in the
But if I may ask, if you keep a suspect in a solitary confinement, is that not torture in terms of a definition by the national instructions?
My lord, the South African Police Service cells haven't got solitary confinement. We don't have that facilities at the police station. It's only detention facilities that contains of the cell itself, where there is running water and toilet facilities, as well as the exercise area where there's also a shower and toilet facilities, as well as running water.
Ingabe-ke umuntu uma umgcina-ke noma la ahlezi khona-ke yedwa engahlangeneke nabanye engaba akusiyona yini indlela leyo-ke yokumzwisa nje ubuhlungu noma-ke i-torture. Cha, thina-ke emaphoyiseni-ke asinazo-ke lezo la umuntu agcina khona-ke eyedwa, ama-cell esinawo futhi-ke anamandla ahambayo khona lapho, kanye futhi-ke nendawo la khona-ke umuntu akwazi-ke khona ukuthi ayoyilolonga khona.
My Lord, I request a short adjournment.
Yeah, what's the time, sir?
It's 11.
24 minutes past 11.
What time do we come back?
15 minutes. The normal short adjournment is 15 minutes.
Let's come 12. committees which come and visit your police station?
Yes.
It's a committee of about how many people?
My Lord, it all depends which committee it
Yeah.
is. For example, the Parliamentary Committee on Policing
That's it.
come to police stations to visit the police stations.
Yes.
And it differs from place to place. Sometimes there's 5 people or bigger group of people.
Right.
And they visit the cells as well.
Amakomiti ke ngikhuluma ngawo ngithi ke bayeza abazovisitha ke ema-police station ama-cell ngikhuluma ngamakomiti ke asephalamende mhlambe ke ikomiti yabantu abawu-5 noma ke mhlambe ngaphezulu noma ke ngaphansi kwalokho.
Do they have access to prisoners or detainees?
Yes. my
Yeah,
Lord.
like judges, just to make an example, we have judges who are in a committee and then they visit a prison, certain prison. Then you're given the freedom to speak to the detainees or the accused persons to find out whatever. So it's the same thing. They have freedom to speak to the detainees, etc. And when we say there are cell visits,
Yes.
12-hourly cell visits,
It is hourly cell visits.
hourly cell visits.
Yes.
Yes,
And
sorry.
every 12 hours there's new people coming on.
Yeah. So in other words, every hour there's a police person or cell police. How many is it? Two.
Yes. Yes.
Every day, every hour.
Every hour at night as well.
That's
my
it.
Lord.
Futhi ke ihora ngehora njena uthola ukuthi kunamaphoyisa-ke noma iphoyisa eliyayo-ke khona lapho liyobheka-ke ama-cell bese kuthi kulamahora-ke awu-12-ke yila ekushintshwa khona-ke abantu abasebenzayo. Kulesigaba-ke noma-ke kuyinkulumo yokuthi-ke abantu basephalamende bayeza-ke ujaji asebenzisa-ke isibonelo ukuthi nabehluleke nabo-ke kukhona-ke ikomiti lamajaji abahamba bayobheka izimo emajele ukuthi-ke abantu bahlezi kanjani-ke noma iy'boshwa. Uthi lapho-ke bayakwazi ukuthi baxoxe bakhulumisane nabo. Uyavuma-ke ukuthi nalabo basephalamende nabo-ke benza kanjalo laba khona ukuthi bakhulumisane ney'boshwa belalela iy'khalo zabo nokuthi-ke bahlezi kanjani emajele noma ema-police station.
Now this inspection, cell visits by police. Don't they speak to the prisoners to ask them any complaints, any sickness, any problem, and then you annotate that in a register?
That's correct, my Lord. As soon as you visit the cells, you firstly check if everybody is in the cells.
That's
According to
it.
that, you check the cell complex itself,
Right.
and then you ask the people if there's any complaints,
Right.
and then you minute it in the SABC in the occurrence book.
Right.
Futhi-ke uma besiya-ke lapho-ke labo basephalamende bezobheka-ke bayabuka-ke isimo sesisele leso-ke ngaphakathi base bekhulumisana-ke nazo iy'boshwa lokho-ke bese kubhalwa phansi.
Yeah, for instance, if a guy like me, I say, I'm suffering from flu, what happens when I make that report to one of the visits?
If there's urgent medical attention needed, we must call the necessary ambulances, but we can also send a person to be checked by a medical practitioner if there's medical attention he or she needs.
Uma kuwukuthi-ke isimo esiphuthumayo-ke sizobiza-ke noma-ke kubiza labo bema-ambulance abosizo ukuthi bezeke noma kube ukuthi-ke umuntu sizomhambisa-ke noma ahambe ukuthi ayobona udokotela.
Have you ever heard, in your experience, have you ever heard of a detainee or a suspect or an accused person complaining to any of these committees which come to find out the status of the prisoners, whether they're being well handled, assaulted, tortured, or what? Where a prisoner once said, you know what, I was tortured yesterday, I was assaulted, or I was done this. Have you ever heard that experience?
Yes, usually with the visit we don't go with them, but we get a report of
Yeah, I'm good at report.
And in that report there was cases, instances where people were complaining to committees and even to the police members that visit the cells.
Yes.
So they complain to the police members and they make the necessary
Yes.
Yebo-ke ngisengahlangana-ke nezehlakalo lapho-na-ke ngoba uma beya-ke bona-ke beyobhizitha emajele-ke noma kumasele-ke asihambi nabo thina kodwa umbiko uyabuya-ke la sithola khona ukuthi yebo ke iboshwa zishilo ke kubona ukuthi sishaywe noma basho kumaphoyisa lawo ahamba ayobheka kumasela ukuthi yebo angiphathekile kahle khona kwenzekile kumina.
And just to elaborate the point, these police who come two for 12 hours, they come from Social River Police Station, Orange Grove Police Station. Are these police only situated in one police station?
Yes, the visits to the cells
Yeah.
is from that specific police station.
Yeah.
So the members placed at that police station is visiting the cells as well.
You don't have visits by other police,
Now,
nearby police.
it only happens when the duty officer, the district duty officer comes to visit. He also visits the cells and he talks to the detainees.
Right.
And he's from other units.
And he also, sorry? And he also writes a report.
Yes, he also writes an OB entry and he makes a report.
That's
in
it.
the OB.
Yebo ke ukuthi ke kuyiwa kumasela kwenziwa amaphoyisa asebenza kuleso station leso kodwa ke district
District duty officer.
duty officer kodwa ke i-district duty officer yona ke iyakwazi ke ukuthi ize kumasela izobheka ke ibe isikhulumisana ixoxisana nazo iboshwa ke ibe ibhale phansi ke lokho ekuthola kubona.
You are obliged to read all those reports as the police station commander.
That's correct. ma'am.
Nanjengomphathi ke waleso station mina ke leyo mibiko leyo ebhalayo ke mina ke kuqalekile ukuthi ngiyifunde.
And if you find that, for instance, there was torture, assault, or a prisoner wanted to have a tooth extracted and he was not given attention to say he was going to the dentist, do you proffer any remedial action?
Yes, according to our disciplinary regulations, we must take actions against the members that don't comply with the instructions.
Uma kuwukuthi ke isiboshwa kukhona ke sikushilo sikhalileke mhlambe nje kwenziwa isibonelo ke sezinyo ke la umuntu afanele ukhipha khona ke izinyo kodwa ke akwenzeka ke lokho ngokomthetho yethu ke sifanele ukuthi ke kube nenyathelo ezithathwayo ke ngakulelo phoyisa lelo elingawenzanga umsebenzi wakhe.
Okay, any questions arising?
Nothing from the state, sir.
Mr. Muzolu?
Nothing.
Okay, I don't know. Do you say you want this gentleman to bring a book and he must come back again?
It's an entry that has been made at Pretoria Mod and is not stationed there. It's a document that will be coming from
Oh, okay, fine, okay, fine. So he doesn't have to come?
I don't think so.
Because the entry by common cause, if it is there, your learned colleague can say, I see it, and by section 220 you can agree that this is what was written down. Is that not so?
That's correct.
Indeed, my lord, if it's agreed, we can do it that way.
Okay. Are the other councillors happy with it? If there's yes, 220. Okay, bye, Danke.
Thank you, my lord.
Danke, thanks, you're excused. Yes, Mr.
My lord, we just want to hand up the updated list of.
You haven't given me some of the documents which you referred to, like the records of the typescript which you got on Monday. Remember? I don't have it.
We will arrange that.
Okay, fine. All right.
What's new here? Just the exhibits that we've just dealt with at number 77 is exhibit N1 and N2.
Okay. Yeah, N1 and N2.
And 2
Yeah.
years.
Okay.
Then also number 89, exhibit ZZ, the statement of Brigadier Gininda, dated 23 October 2020.
Okay.
But we've line up only this witness for today. There's only one witness that will be testifying tomorrow. And it's a dentist. We've already made arrangements with him for tomorrow, my lord. And that will be the last witness for the state in the trial, within a trial.
Okay.
We'll then request that we adjourn until tomorrow morning.
Okay.
Uthi-ke umshushisi-ke uyena kuphela-ke ufakazi lona-ke ebezobizwa-ke namuhla unofakazi nje oyedwa-ke osasele ozobizwa-ke umbuso i-dentist kodwa-ke bebesebevumelene ukuthi uzoza kusasa isicelo sokuthi-ke icala alithathishele kusasa.
Okay, so we shall adjourn until tomorrow.
Kusasa-ke ngo-10 ekuseni.